most iconic trailblazer in American sports history is probably Jackie Robinson, the first black player in Major League Baseball. Now, GSL did a show on him, talking to others that were kind of in the room, if you were, when that decision was made. His teammate, Pee Wee Reese, and his manager, Leo DeRocher.
And with so many professional black athletes in sports today, it's kind of hard to imagine how segregated sports was in Robinson's time. And a guy named Branch Rickey, owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers at the time, said about changing that. He chose the highest caliber person and player he could find to break the barrier. It was a shockingly momentous decision. And here's Pee Wee Reese talking about when he first heard the news.
When I first heard about Jackie being signed, I was coming back from overseas from Guam, and kid came, told me he must have gotten over the wire aboard ship and said that they'd signed a black ball player. But I was kind of laughed about it and didn't think it would ever happen. Half an hour later or 45 minutes later, he came back and said, Pee Wee, not only is he black, he is the shortstop. And I said, you gotta be kidding.
Given that Pee Wee Reese was also a shortstop, you would think that he, of all people, would be wearing.
Yeah, but now Reese was from a small town in Kentucky, born in 1918, so only 50 years after the Civil War, and he was actually a stalwart supporter of Robinson on the Dodgers. That wasn't the case for some other players on the team. Here's Leo DeRocher, who was managing the team at the time that Robinson came up.
I heard some whispering going on that they had a petition up that Robinson was coming on the club, but they were not going to play with Robinson.
The players?
Players had signed a petition. So I woke them up. I couldn't sleep. I woke them up when I heard about it, when it finally dawned on me, and I got them all downstairs. And I said, I don't know about any petition, but they tell me you got one up. And I don't know about any petition, but I'll tell you what you can do with it, because Robinson's going to play on this ball club. Because I don't look at the color. I don't care whether he's green, black, yellow, white. He has talent. This is some kind of player. And he's going to be here. And I'm warning you now that he's only the first of many to follow.
So you see, Robinson not only faced adversaries from other teams, but adversaries within his own team as well. And you had to be a special kind of person to be able to withstand all of that. Branch Rickey understood what kind of man it would take to handle that kind of pressure, and that's why he chose Robinson. Intelligent, even-tempered, strong-willed.
It's always hardest being the first, the people who have to cut down the forest to make the trail through which others will eventually pass, and that was Jackie Robinson.
Here's how the legendary broadcaster Howard Cosell on GSL in 1983 described Robinson.
Jackie Robinson can be best characterized reflectively in one word: unconquerable. He was an unconquerable man. I grew up in the shadows of Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, but Brooklyn achieved its greatest fulfillment as a borough, as a city of its own, beginning on that April day in 1947, when, in the words of Roger Kahn, a very gifted litterateur, everything was white and only the grass was green. Except suddenly there was a figure, black, I mean jet black, clearly a little bit frightened. And on that day, sport in America first began to come of age, first began really to matter.